Okay, where were we? Captain America is saying, "Keep back, Goliath. Your oversized hide isn't any more laser proof than ours. One of those levers must turn off these rays. You've got to find it fast." "Will do, Cap," says Goliath. "Just hang on, team." My line is biochemistry, not mechanics, but this sure looks like the master switch to me. Rick! And then he says it better be, because from the angle of those beams, I'm not going to get a second try. "But it worked! You did it, big man." But the 10-foot Titan is in no mood for congratulations, for after a quick briefing, he exclaims, "You mean the living laser escaped with Jan and you let him? I should have let you washouts roast and gone after her when I got her signal." Well, them's fighting words to Hawkeye. He says, "Who are you calling washouts? Why, you overstuffed misfit. If you hadn't just saved our skins, I'd make you pay for that crack in spades." Cap says, "Cool down, both of you. Tearing each other apart isn't going to help get the wasp back." Goliath comes to his senses. "You're right, Cap. I was out of line. Way out of line. But if she were to come to any harm, she won't, I'm sure. Let's start following that signal of hers." Then, as flaring tempers subside and reason prevails, the deeply concerned trio board Goliath's aero car, and the signal I heard earlier must have come from Jan, since you say the living laser captured her. Yet now the homing beam has stopped. How could it? Unless, easy, High Pockets, it won't do any good to let your imagination run wild. Hawkeye is right, Hank. Perhaps the laser just carried her out of range of our portable direct-to-beams. We'll find out for sure when we get back to headquarters. But back at the Midtown mansion, which serves the Avengers as base of operations, the outlook is no brighter. "You don't have to say it, Cap," says Goliath. "I can read your face like a book. Even Tony Stark's high-power gadgets can't zero in on the Wasp." "Just the same," says Hawkeye, "that doesn't mean she still can't be safe." "True," says Cap. "From what we saw, the laser appeared to have a crush on Jan." "That doesn't cut any ice with me when I get my hands on him," says Goliath. "This is no time to start making rash threats, partner. We've got to find our beam-tossing baddie before we can pulverize him, and when we do find him, I promise this, you can have first crack at him. You know it, Avenger, and when I get through with him, the police can have what's left." Now, while an enraged Goliath vows to wreak an awesome vengeance on his hated foe, let's skip to a hidden lab many miles away where we find the Wasp. She asks, "Where am I? What happened?" Now I remember the living laser used a vacuum pump to capture me, then knocked me out with some kind of gas. That doesn't give me any clue as to where I am, though, except that I'm going to stay here for a while. I can't grow larger without being hit by those laser crossbeams. Man, the laser has beams everywhere, doesn't he? I just hope that Cap and Hawkeye are safe. The last I recall, they were fenced in by those rays, just like these. And speaking of lasers and related items, there's my half-baked toast now. But who are those characters with him? I never saw them before. And to tell the truth, neither have we. So let's eavesdrop for a moment, shall we? As the living laser concludes a profitable business conference. And so one criminal says, "Then it is agreed. You will help our rebel forces wrest control of strife-torn Costa Verde from its present dictator and turn it over to us," says the other crook. "You will be performing a great service for democracy." Not likely. Democracy? Don't attempt to lie to me, you ignorant clown, answers the laser. To help your forces gain the victory in Costa Verde is merely to exchange one dictator for two. Still, that is no concern of mine. I am interested only in the money and the fame such a venture would bring to me. My price, as I have told you, is $10 million in gold, payable as soon as you are placed in power. And the crook answers, we have accepted your terms, but time is of the essence. When will you be ready to go? Within the hour, answers the laser, and now you must leave me. I have private matters to dispose of before I can depart. Very well. We shall wait for you outside. Approximately 1 minute later, as the two Latin American figures exit through what seems to be the mouth of an ordinary cave, uh, this fellow says, "You are mad, Valdez, to agree to share the spoils of victory with that arrogant buffoon as your second in command." And then Valdez says, "As my second in command, you are a fool, Carlos. $10 million is a paltry sum to pay for a nation, for that is what we shall have, a nation delivered right into our hands. Besides, the one called the laser does not possess the riches which he so desires, and once we learn the secret of his lethal beams, we shall have no further need of him, eh? See, Valdez, now I see your wisdom. I let the living laser enjoy his brief moment of glory. It will be the last he will ever know." So we leave Carlos and Valdez, and meanwhile, inside the sanctum sanctorum of our enamored villain, Laser turns to the Wasp and says, "So, my lovely captive is awake and looking as beautiful as ever." Jan says, "You can cut the grade B compliments, Romeo, and let me out of here, at least if you know what's good for you. Handsome Hank Pym may not be too long on romantic speeches, but he doesn't take kindly to guys absconding with his favorite partner. Do not talk to me of your precious Goliath. He can't ever find you in this cave where even radio waves cannot penetrate. Even if he did, he would suffer the same ultimate fate as his two fellow Avengers. Nothing shall ever separate the living laser from his beloved." Jan opens her eyes wide and realizes he means it. That crazed costumed kook really thinks he's in love with me. But why? I never saw him before today. The perplexed Miss Van Dyne doesn't realize she did see the laser as Arthur Parks in our previous Power Packed Ish. Do you remember when she met up with Lucy Barton and saw Lucy's former boyfriend, Arthur Parks? That's when he fell in love with Jan, or at least he began to be obsessed with her, and that's why all of this is taking place. "So, you choose not to answer," says the laser. "Perhaps it is because you do not fully comprehend the honor that I offer you. But you shall, my dear Wasp. Before long the world will speak my name in fearful whispers." And then Jan thinks, at least I don't have to worry about contacting Hank. I have a hunch the laser will make his whereabouts extremely well known. And indeed, a few short hours later, in Costa Verde, in South America, one fellow says, "Run! Flee for your lives! That powerful beam, it burns through the thickest metal as if it were paper. There's no defense against it. Zzz. You see the laser is slicing through that tank." "Ha! Tanks, bazookas, jets. Nothing can resist my heavily concentrated laser ray. Zzz. I shall give these foolhardy pilots a chance to bail out so that they may live to tell others of the laser's power." But at a nearby command post, "I cannot believe it. Our newest, fastest jets blasted from the sky by beams of light, and yet it is happening before our very eyes. I must inform the general at once." Thus, a short time later, in a somber, hidden cave, the jubilant conspirators gather before the living laser. Our ultimatum has been presented to the dictator. If he does not surrender within the hour, my rays shall blast his castle into oblivion. For my portable beams are not our only weapon. There are greater lasers which only I have the knowledge to construct. Already I have begun work on a mammoth cannon which will win the revelation for you. The revolution for you. So, goodness, a laser cannon. Wow, that sounds big. But as the self indulgent supervillain raves on, two smirking figures discuss their only secret intentions. It is, as you said, Valdez, even now he designs a laser cannon for us. Aye, and in the hour he completes it, the living laser shall live no more. So they think they're going to defeat the living laser and steal his laser cannon. Meanwhile, just for the record, let's take a glance at how the present dictator of Costa Verde is taking the news of his impending defeat. He says, "Abdicate? Never. I shall see the rebels executed first. Call out my reserve forces and smash the devils. But, General, all your armies have been routed. There is no one left to fight for you. Then I have no choice but to throw myself on the mercy of the traitor Valdez. Without my army, I am lost. Valdez has won." But wait, he's not counting on the Avengers. Soon the news of the laser's victory is flashed to every corner of the globe, including Avengers HQ, where Cap says, "Hawkeye, it looks like your laser-tossing snake has crawled out from under his rock. Let's find Goliath and, oh, so you're back. Where did you go?" Goliath says, "Let's just say I was out." And if you say, "What did you do, Winghead?" you're an even bigger cornball than I'd guess. And that's Hawkeye. "Never mind," says Cap. "The important thing is he's back. Now let's go get the laser and the wasp." Goliath says, "Just remember, when the showdown comes, the living laser is mine." So, the showdown is set up for Costa Verde. And our three Avengers, Captain America, Hawkeye, and Goliath, are ready to go after the laser and rescue Wasp. And so that story remains to be told. The finale of the battle between the Avengers and the living laser. And that's coming up very soon. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.